How's she going, boys? We're back at Grampy's workshop with another little project, this time in Nanny's garden once more. The garden is really doing good. We have this irrigation system in the garden. I've done a couple of videos on it already, and we connect the irrigation system right here with a garden hose. The issue that we're having, it's not really a problem, but it's an annoyance more than anything, is our garden hose is way over there in the barn. See it way over there? Anyways, we have to hook, or we have to pull that garden hose and lay it along the ground over here, loop it on our post, and plug it in to water the garden. Not a big deal really when you think about it. However, we on sunny days, hot sunny days in the summer, the hose is here most all the time plugged in so we can water the garden. So when it's time to mow the lawn, of course, you start running around here with the lawn tractor. You get over here, well, you can't mow here with the hose laying across the ground. So, right old me, I said, here's what the plan is going to be. I'm going to go down here, let me get around on this side. You can see where the water line goes right down to the ground there, and over, and then starts going out to, well, it's hard to see it there, but anyway, it goes there to the irrigation hoses that's in each flower bed or garden bed. So right down in there, there's a T. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break the line, take that T out, and I'm just going to put a union in there, a coupling, and I'm going to run it under the edge board, and then from here in the ground, I'm going to dig a trench right across here over to the little corner here on the greenhouse. And then I'm going to put a, or my plan is anyway, I want to put a water outlet right here, and then I can plug the line into that, and that way the water line to the garden will be buried underground, and we can run the tractor around without any issues. And in order to get my tap mounted right here at the greenhouse, down on this end of the bench of the greenhouse, I should take a little tour of this greenhouse, but maybe another video. I have an outdoor tap here, and I have a hose outlet on this side of the greenhouse. So I'm just going to tap into that line that goes down under the bench and extend that line to the end of the bench and put another tap outlet down here. And then when I bring my line up from the irrigation system, I'll have a length of hose on the tap that I can just take around, plug into the irrigation system. And then we can control the irrigation from the tap here in the greenhouse, and I think it's going to work a lot better. The hose will be buried, the lines will be buried, everything will be just like it's supposed to be. Ain't life grand? Anyway, that's going to be the little project today. We're going to start that. I have to dig a trench, so we'll see how we make out with that. Alright boys, I got the trench dug. Pretty straight. And I'm using some 1/2 inch black plastic pipe to make this underground run. And I had some 5/8 ID hose, just garden hose, and I had the brainiac idea that I would cover that black plastic pipe where it goes in the ground just to save it from rocks, because that black plastic pipe that I'm using here is pretty cheap stuff. It's thin wall, and I'm afraid I'd get a leak in it. No, I didn't want a leak. And then over here where I'm going to be making my connection, where the line comes up from through the ground, I didn't even bother putting an elbow on it, but I did put this heavy wall piece of inch black plastic pipe, because that's going to go and strap right on that upright that I have there to protect the black plastic where it comes out of the ground. Alright, the next step is I have to join these pipes down here. Now if you can get a look in here, wait till I get down here a little closer. My black plastic pipe comes under the little rail of the garden, so I'm just going to break that 90 in there and then connect the black plastic pipe to the pecs. Alright then, look at this boys. Down in there, if you can see, you probably can't see anything. And that's good, because that's where the line goes. And it goes under, whoa, it goes under this kickboard right here. And then I buried it in the trench over to the greenhouse, and then it comes out of the greenhouse, and I have this piece of 1 inch on here just to protect that pipe, because that's pretty thin, pretty weak pipe. So boys, I'm trying to gear up some plumbing now for the water supply, so I had to put together this little piece. So what I've got here, oops, right here, this is the top for a water filter. I'm going to put a water filter on it this time, because the reason for the water filter is I pump water from the lake for my outside irrigation system, and as anybody knows who's on a lake, there's nothing dirtier than fresh water sometimes. So especially in the summer, like late summer, it starts to get a little bit of algae in it. So anyways, I wanted to put a filter on it, so I got my filter cap here, and of course the filter will go underneath it. So I have my adapter here for a 1/2 inch black plastic pipe, and that's going to come from the supply through the filter, and then out I had to put together this copper line, and I cobbled together some elbows and whatnot to get a drop valve on there, because I'm going to put my water outlet tap right here in this hole. So it'll probably look better and make more sense once I get it outside and mount it. So that's where I'm going to go right now, so we'll have a look at her then. Okay, a little explanation maybe would help here. I'm plumbing this a little backwards. Normally I plumb from the water supply to where I need it. In this case I'm plumbing from where I need it in the garden back to the water supply. So if we follow this black line, this is going to be the water line that takes water to the irrigation system down under the ground over the garden. So I have my spout on here. Just wait till I take this off till I show you. It's also, as I come to find out, it's important to keep those restrictors in place. So I put the restrictor in there, and that goes back on here, and you snug that up a little. So now I'm going to put a water supply into this to go to the garden to irrigate. So here's my water supply. Just going to have a little short length of hose here that I can coil up with a quick connect on the end of it that I can connect to here. So I think we're just about ready to water stuff. There's where I tied it in. I was going to tie it in under the sink, but I would have had to take these taps and everything off, and it's a right tight fit in there. So I just come back here to this joint, took that elbow out and put a T in, and ran my black plastic pipe. Will I try and show you under here? All the way under there, 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 and into my filter. And I put a filter in there, and then it comes out to the tap. And water flows just like it's supposed to. Alright, so I have my fittings on here. I put the quick connect fitting on that water outlet, so that just snaps on. I just have a little short length of hose here, and that's the hanger, you might remember, is on the top of that post. So I recycled that. I put it on here. So now we just take this and clip it on there, remembering that we have our restrictor in here. So now this hose is kind of still curly and kinky because it's brand new. We turn this on, and look at the leaks. Gotta go. I had a little bit of an issue here because I was using 1/2 inch PEX fittings on all my plumbing attachments, fittings. This hose, it's a thin wall black plastic pipe. It's not 1/2 inch, and I don't know that it's even 7 or 3/8, I mean. So anyways, those fittings didn't fit in there too good. So what I did was, because I have the reducer in here, this irrigation system is only going to be under reduced pressure. So I wrapped a lot of wraps of Teflon on that PEX fitting, and then slid the black plastic pipe over and then crimped it. I did that there, and also I had to come back and do it here too, where it connects to the PEX pipe in the garden, down in there. So that seemed, well, I hope that's going to eliminate any possible leaks. But we'll see now as we connect our hose. So that just clicks on here. And then we turn this tap. And you don't have to turn it all the way on. Just turn it on because of the reduced pressure. So we'll check here for leaks. And a little bit of a leak coming out of that quick connect fitting, but that's nature of those fittings, I think. There's no leak in my plumbing anyways. And then over here in the garden, as they say in Boston, in the garden, right down in there, oh, right down in there, don't see any leaks there either. So I can hear the water. I'm going to jump over the fence here in the garden. I hope Nanny's not around to catch me doing this. So we just turned that on, and look, there's the hoses. You can see them now starting to weep. Oops. Line up on the hose would be a nicer shot. Starting to weep there. The reason I was, well, one of the reasons that I wanted to put the filter in was because the output of these soaker hoses seems to have diminished since I first installed them at the first of the summer. And I'm blaming that on dirt and algae from the lake. Because, like I said earlier in this video, there's nothing dirtier than fresh water. And it just makes slime, and like we put the boat in the water, and if you don't keep taking it out, if you just leave it in the lake all summer, it's nothing but green slime comes on it. So anyways, I see these hoses, the soaker hoses are soaking nice. So I'm going to declare this job done. And we'll walk around here. See if we can get out. There we go. So I think that's it. So we still have our water supply here at the sink. So that's not affected in any way. And we don't have any leaks. There are no major ones. And the trench that I put in the ground, I think will, before you know it, be blended away to nothing. So that's it. Thanks for watching this little project at Grampy's workshop. It was an all-day job. Of course, I'm an all-day kind of person now. I used to do a couple of these jobs a day, but I'm just down to one a day. Go slower and enjoy it. That's what I say. Why rush through life when you can take your time and enjoy it? Look at that garden. It's luscious. But it's some dry today. I'm glad I got the irrigation going, because just between you and me, well, the peas weren't peeing. The bean farts were as dry as popcorn. And the lettuce kept saying, "Let us have a drink, let us have a drink." So anyway, that's what I'm doing. Hope you enjoyed this video, fellas, and girls too. Please like and please subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell so I can keep telling you when I'm putting out these crazy little videos that I do. Sure hope you liked it. And you too can have irrigation in your garden. All it takes is a little bit of pipe and fittings. Talk to you.